Welcome back. I'm Bob Kirkpatrick with today's sports. Well, how about them Seahawks? Super Bowl champions. You couldn't ask for a more dominating performance than the one the entire nation and football fans around the world witnessed in Seattle's lopsided 43-8 win over Denver yesterday. Odds makers favored the Broncos, and no one outside the Pacific Northwest gave the Seahawks much of a chance, but the naysayers were all proved wrong. The return of Percy Harvin to Seattle's lineup had a little something to do with it. Harvin scored to start the third quarter of action, ignited a 21-8 second-half run that saw the Seahawks make believers out of everyone. The win over the Broncos ended a 34-year drought for Seattle sports to give the city its second championship title, the first being the 78-79 Seattle Sonics. The Ephrata girls basketball team split games over the weekend. The Lady Tigers had their hands full at home against the 8th-ranked Ellensburg Bulldogs Friday night in a game that went to overtime before a winner was determined. Ephrata looked to be in control of things as the Lady Tigers led 20-11 at the end of the first 8 minutes of action, but a 13-7 Lady Bulldogs run in the second quarter got Ellensburg within 3 at the half, 27-24. The teams battled back and forth in the second half, and a buzzer beater by Ellensburg's Lexi Bland tied the contest 57-all to send the game to overtime. The Bulldogs outscored Ephrata 6-2 in the extra period to pull out the win 63-59. Ephrata hit the road to Othello Saturday and had little trouble with the Huskies in a 62-36 win. Kendall Sage knocked down a game-high 20 points. Dylan Bentham and Lloyd Burleson scored 12 each, but it wasn't enough to propel the Tigers to victory as they dropped their game to Ellensburg Friday. The Ephrata boys led 22-18 at the half, but was outplayed in the second 16 minutes of action as the Bulldogs hung 29 points on the board to the Tigers' 23 to come away with a 47-45 win. Ephrata bounced back with a 67-56 win over Othello Saturday to remain in the thick of things in the CWAC standings. 10-4 Tigers are tied for second with East Valley and are just one game back of league leader Grandview with 4 games left in the regular season. The high-flying Soap Lake Eagles boys team was brought back to earth with a 35-33 non-league loss to Pateros Friday. The loss snapped a 13-game win streak. Soap Lake is still 8-0 in Central Washington 1B conference play and will end the regular season as league champion with 2 games left in the season. Back-to-back losses to Wenatchee and Eastmont over the weekend dropped the Moses Lake boys basketball team to 7-4 on the season and into 4th place in the Columbia Basin Big 9 standings with 3 games left. The Chiefs lost to Wenatchee 52-44 Friday and then dropped their game to the Wildcats 67-58 Saturday. The girls team split games with Wenatchee and Eastmont to move to 9-2 and 13-3 overall and are tied with Sunnyside for the league lead. Chiefs were edged out by the Panthers 50-43 and then bounced back with a lopsided 65-38 win over the Wildcats in East Wenatchee. Jessie Loretta came up big for the Chiefs with 20 points, 6 rebounds, 6 steals, and 5 assists in the game. The Ephrata Tigers wrestling team ended the regular season in fine fashion with a 56-21 win over Sela at home Thursday. Dalton Ballantyne at 182 pounds started off the action with a first-round pin over the Vikings' Tommy Lund. David Svensson at 170 followed suit with a third-round pin over Alec Ray, and the Tigers ran off a string of wins to race out to a 36-0 lead and never looked back as they dominated the CWAC match. Next stop for Ephrata is the 2A District 5-6 tournament that takes place Friday and Saturday at Ellensburg High School. Well, be sure and tune in tomorrow night for iFiber One Sports live coverage of Moses Lake Christian Academy, Columbia Basin Secondary High School basketball. The action gets started at 6 p.m. Well, that's it for sports. We'll be right back after this.